Hey health nuts, welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited about today's topic. It's something I get asked a lot about. I think people have this perception of me that I am just the happiest person all the time, which duh, no, I'm kidding. I'm not. There are ups and downs just like anyone else, but I do feel like there are things that I do that definitely make me a happier person. And I think that just kind of comes off in my videos and in my personality because the things that I do really do make me happier. So I want to share my not so secret secrets with you guys and hopefully help you guys feel a little bit more happier or just fulfilled and excited about life in 2019. Let's hop right in. Okay, first off, if you guys aren't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you pause this video and hit that red subscribe button down below. I post 3 times a week on my channel, and sometimes it's food, sometimes it's lifestyle, sometimes it's vlogs. So today is lifestyle. We're talking how to become a happier person, because who doesn't want to be happy? Like, no one ever said, I want to be grumpy. I want to be Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. You know, I don't know, is he grumpy or just like tired all the time? I don't know. Today we are talking happiness and simple things that you can do to become a happier person, or at least things that I feel like have made a huge difference in my life and have really impacted my mood, my personality, and just the way I live my life. So let me tell you about my secrets. My first tip is to surround yourself with positive people. I cannot stress this enough. They say that you are like an average out of the 5 people you hang out with, both financially, personality-wise, and many different aspects of life. And I really do believe this, because if you look at someone in your life and you see all the people that they're hanging out with all the time, there's probably some similarities. And for me, I notice that when I hang out with someone who is very a negative, like a glass half empty type of person, it just like sucks my happiness and energy out of me. I don't know, it is so draining for me. I feel like I just can't carry the conversation. I'm just like, when I gotta get out of here, I don't know. I'm like in panic mode. I'm like, I gotta get away from this person. And there are just people that are like that. You ask them how their day is, and the first thing they say to you is just like, well, you know, and like, I get some people, like everyone has a bad day. I get that, but I'm talking about like every single time, or just people that complain all the time and everything is everybody else's fault. You know, I think it's just like a bad habit that people get into, and I've been there too. Don't get me wrong. I've been a judgy person. I've been that person that's just like blaming everyone else except myself. But you need to recognize, are you the negative person, or do you have a negative Nancy? It doesn't have to be a Nancy, but do you have that negative person in your life that is just sucking the happiness out of your life? And if so, maybe you need to break up that relationship, spend less time with them. You know, you gotta protect yourself and your happiness. And I really do feel like surrounding yourself with happy people will make yourself even happier. Trust me, this has been one of the #1 things that I do in my life, is just surround myself with the best people possible. You know, back when you were in school, you were kind of like forced to hang out with the people that were in your class or in your grade. And, you know, and that was a bit of a struggle because you couldn't really choose your friends. You're kind of stuck with like, okay, there's these girls and boys, and I kind of have to make friends with some of them, or else I'm going to be a loner and depressed all throughout school. And, you know, but like as you get older, you can choose your friends. You may not always be able to choose your like coworkers or your boss, but you can still choose most of the people in your life. You also can't choose your like siblings and your parents and your family, I guess, but you do have some control over the people you hang out with and that you let into your life. So take advantage of that. Make sure you are adding in positive, loving, inspiring people that are gonna challenge you, make you feel amazing, and just support each other, because people need more of that in their life. So that is my #1 tip. The next thing I want to talk about is the fact that happiness is a choice, and it's also a perspective. When a lot of people ask me, you know, how are you so positive and happy all the time? The truth is, when I wake up in the morning, I can decide to have a bad day or a good day. And I think that goes the same to anyone, really. It's like you can choose whether you want to be happy and be a positive person depending on the situation you're in. Sometimes you wake up and you're not feeling the best, or maybe there's something happening in your life that's really shitty. I get it. Life isn't all like rainbows and butterflies. I've had some major struggles in my personal life, and what has got me through them is by kind of just faking it till you make it. And I know that may sound odd for some people, like why would I want to fake being happy? But it's almost like tricking your mind into thinking, if you are in a shitty situation, or you're just in like a phase of life that is, just not going so well, if you kind of trick your mind into thinking, okay, I'm going to put that switch on and I'm going to choose to be happy today. I'm going to choose to do things that make me feel good and have that perspective in life, like the glass half full motto. That makes the biggest difference in how you feel. It almost tricks your mind into thinking, no, I am really happy. I'm feeling good. I'm positive. And what has gotten me through so much of my anxiety when it was really, really, really bad. It's so great to talk about it, but it's also not the best to dwell in it every single day. I get it. There's been times that I've woken up every single day feeling like crap, and what got me through it was just kind of putting on a face and being like, I'm doing great. I'm going to look at the positive things in life. It's a sunny day. It's actually cloudy today, but it's that perspective. I can look at it as another day dealing with anxiety. This is never going to end. And it kind of goes into a spiral of negative thoughts. Or I can choose to think that, oh, it's like I said, it's sunny outside. I'm going to be hanging out with some friends that I really enjoy spending time with. And just, like I said, faking it till you make it. It is a choice to be happy. And I just think that people need to, it doesn't always come easy. People forget that it is a choice and it takes some work and practice, but eventually it becomes a habit. And eventually, if you aren't believing it just yet, you will believe it. And then those actions will become actual emotions and feelings, and you will wake up feeling happier. Trust me, make this choice and you will see the difference over time. Tip number 3 is to live a healthy and active lifestyle. If you haven't seen Legally Blonde, then you may not know that exercising creates endorphins, and happy people just don't kill people. So that's like my favorite part in that movie. But anyways, when you exercise and eat well, you are feeding your body with the key nutrients it needs to feel good. And when your body feels good, when it's getting the right nutrients, it is creating those hormones and those endorphins that are gonna make you feel better. If you're eating a lot of processed junk food and stuff, you aren't gonna feel the greatest, which is then in turn gonna make you feel emotionally drained, tired, moody. Your stomach has been known to be called your second brain because it really does affect your mood, and it helps create certain hormones and stuff. I'm not a doctor, but something like that, some sciencey stuff, and it does really actually affect your mood. As someone who deals with anxiety, I notice a huge correlation between my mood and the foods I eat and how much I exercise. So if you aren't feeding your body with the right nutrients it needs, you're not gonna feel the best emotionally, physically, and it's just gonna be this like downward spiral. So for me, drinking my green smoothie every day isn't just because I really enjoy the taste. I know it makes me feel really good after I drink it. It helps satisfy any cravings, it helps balance my blood sugar, and it keeps me just feeling more balanced throughout the whole day. I do really feel the difference when I eat healthy food. I feel it in my emotions and my mood. The same thing goes for when you exercise. You are creating endorphins in the body, you're moving the blood throughout your body, and you're gonna feel more energized, happier. There's a reason why people enjoy working out and it becomes an addicting thing. It's because it truly does make you feel better. When I go a few weeks without working out, I notice a huge difference in my mood. I feel less motivated in life, if that makes sense. I just feel like, I don't know, when I exercise and I eat healthy, everything just seems to fall into place a little bit better. One of the best tips I ever got from a doctor was actually just like a walk-in clinic. When my anxiety was really bad, I was having a horrible panic attack, and he told me, like, instead of just prescribing me, medication or antidepressants, which I constantly got when my anxiety was really bad, he just said, well, why don't you, he wrote a prescription to run 20 minutes twice a day. For me, that was so mind-blowing that he chose to prescribe me a healthy lifestyle habit as opposed to just like prescription drugs. So I actually took that advice and I started just kind of doing a light jog on the treadmill at my local gym. And maybe I wasn't doing it twice a day, but just getting that flow of endorphins and blood flow and warming up my body every day did make a big difference. Try it for yourself, drink a green smoothie every day, move your body every day, and just see how you feel. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? The next thing I want to talk about is consuming positive content. So for me, I am very, very emotionally impacted by things that I consume, whether it's through the news, through social media, through books I read, facts I read. I get really affected by them. I'm just like super sensitive emotionally, I guess. I don't know. I just have to be mindful of what I consume because I know it will really alter my mood for that day, how I'm feeling. So I want to encourage you guys to consume positive, inspiring content because I really do feel like they say, you know, you are what you eat, but I also think you are what you read and consume. So some inspiring books, I have a few in front of me that I want to talk to you guys about that have made a big difference in my life. This is in no particular order, but this one here, this is called Infinite Possibilities by Nikole. This book is basically, if I was just to sum it up, is thoughts become things. So what you think all the time is going to become eventually your reality. Whether you believe that or not, I think this book is an amazing read, and Michael just really does lay it out in an easy, absorbable way in this book, and it's an easy read. I highly recommend reading this if you haven't, and it's just a very inspiring book. I also have this one by Dan Harris. It's called 10% Happier, and I just thought this book kind of like wasn't what I expected it to be when I actually read it, but it was such a good read. And here it says, how I tamed the voice in my head, reduced stress without losing my edge, and found self-help that actually works. A true story. So I believe, it's been a while since I've read these books, but I believe this one is an actual story. It's not just like facts and stuff like that. So it was just, I believe it goes through his own personal life and journey, and I just think it's such a good read. So recommend that one as well. I wish I could just like lend these to you and you guys could read them and bring them back. And yeah, so anyways, this new one is one that I recently just picked up. Actually, I got for Christmas. And this is called Letting Go. This is by David R. Hawkins, and I've heard amazing things about this. I think I originally heard about it through Mimi Icon, and she said like this was like life-changing, you have to read it. And it's about finding enlightenment and like the different stages of it. And I've heard other people talk about it too. So I'm really excited to give this a read. It's a little bit of a bigger book, but since I'm planning to read one book a month this year, then I'm gonna definitely make my way through that one. Another amazing read, if you're into journaling, is this one by my friend Katie Dalebout. It's called Let It Out, A Journey Through Journaling. And this book is it's so well done because it's basically set up as there's a bunch of different practices to get you journaling. And I just think journaling is such an amazing way to get your thoughts down on paper and have a conversation with yourself. So if you guys want like an introductory to journaling, this is a really good book. I will link all these books down below, but I just want to share some of my favorites. But I'm sure there's so many more out there that I still have yet to read. So if you have a personal favorite, I would love it if you let me know down below in the comments. So the reason why I think consuming inspiring content is so important, because like I said, you are what you read and consume. So if you're reading positive things all the time, you're gonna just feel lifted and more inspired in life, maybe by hearing other people's journeys and other people's tips in wellness and self-care. I really do feel like it makes a big impact on your life. And also being careful to not consume negative things all the time. This is a personal choice of mine. I know everyone has different opinions on it, but I choose not to really watch the news. I know it is important to know what's happening out in the world, but I don't really need to like hear about every negative thing that's happening in the world 24/7. Now that there is 24/7 news, I think people, it's a habit. They have like CP24 constantly playing in the background, and it's like car crash here, death here, this, that, you know, and it's always negative stuff, and you don't hear about the positive side of things. So it's a very biased way of consuming news, and it's just because like happy things don't sell, like scary negative things do for some reason, and I just choose not to consume that. And personally, I will get my information from like word of mouth. Matt will tell me, friends will tell me, you know, I have been looking into trying to find a reliable source that I can kind of listen to in the morning that's not all negative. It's like both negative and positive, and just that's informing me on what's happening in the world, because I do think it's important to know, but personally for me, I just choose not to watch the news because I just feel like I just get into a really sad place when I do. So consume the content that is in line with the way you want to feel. My next tip may seem a little hippy dippy, but it is to practice positive affirmations. This is a huge one for me and has really been life-changing, and I just think more people need to start doing it, even though it does seem weird in the beginning. So basically, positive affirmations are things that you constantly tell yourself. I don't know if this is the actual definition, but for me, it is things that I tell myself every day that help support my mind, my personality. Wait, let me Google positive affirmations. Okay, so I just Googled positive affirmations, and they are positive statements that can help you challenge and overcome self-sabotaging and negative thoughts. When you repeat them often and believe in them, you can start to make positive changes. So I truly do believe in this. I think that you are what you think, and thoughts really do become things, like DOOLEY says. And when you tell yourself positive things, those can start to kind of form your reality. So and it may seem like, if I'm thinking like, I really want a car, how is that eventually going to come into play? But like, you got to start small, and eventually those thoughts will maybe turn into actions that help you towards that goal. But really, when I look at, it's kind of like The Secret. If you've ever watched that movie or read the book, it's all about the law of attraction. So if I'm waking up every day and telling myself I'm fat, I'm worthless, I'm not a good businesswoman, I don't know anything, I'm a fraud, blah, blah, blah. That is what I'm consistently telling myself. So my mind only knows what I tell it. So it's gonna be like, oh, I guess I'm fat, I guess I'm worthless, I guess I'm not a good business person. And it won't be able to distinguish what you want and what you don't want in life. So instead, you want to kind of shift that perspective and start telling yourself positive affirmations. So a practice that I've done for a while now is, you know, after I do my morning meditation, I will just hug my body and just say out loud, I love my life, and I'll say a few things that I love about myself, or just positive things, you know, that might be floating around my head. It gets easier over time. When my anxiety was really bad, I would say things like, I am so calm and at peace, and I am stress-free, my anxiety is gone, and I would just, almost like you're brainwashing yourself into thinking these things, because I promise you, eventually, it's like a light switch just turns on, and it starts to become your reality, and you believe those things that you are telling yourself. And it's magical and crazy how this stuff works. But, you know, there's so many different aspects you can bring in positive affirmations into your life. I try to think of things even with business and financial things. I try to tell myself, you know, money flows easily and frequently into my life. I will also think about things that I want in life that have not yet happened, and it kind of just, that law of attraction, you're going to attract those things that you constantly put out there into the world, into the universe. And, you know, even if you don't believe all that stuff, it doesn't hurt to wake up every morning and tell yourself that you love yourself and you love your body and you have the best life ever. So good luck. You can write it on your mirror in the morning with lipstick, whatever you want. But just try and tell yourself some happy things and see how it goes. So this next tip is similar to the positive affirmations, but it is to practice gratitude. Now, this is basically where you become aware of all of those things that you are grateful for in your life. I think oftentimes we are so focused on the next step, next goal, that we kind of forget about what we currently have, and we forget to be more mindful in the present moment. So for me, I have been really trying to practice things that I'm grateful for, practice gratitude, and it has just brought me more peace and happiness in my personal life. And what's kind of helped me start it in the beginning was this journal. You might have heard of it. It's called the 5-Minute Journal. It's by two YouTubers, actually, Mimi and Alex Icon, and they co-founded it with another, I think his name is AJ. Anyways, it's a really amazing book, and it's basically, it says here, the simplest, most effective thing you can do every day to be happier. So it's very in line with today's video. So is this my used one? Yeah. So I'm almost done filling this one up. And basically, let me find, do I have an empty page? This is a great little tool. You do not need this. You don't need to buy anything to be grateful, but this has been a really awesome tool because basically every morning you put the date and it's like an easy way to journal. So every day it'll say like a little quote at the top. And this one here says, continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. Totally agree. That's by Mark Twain. So basically it says at the top here, I am grateful for, and there's 3 little bullet points that you write in what you are grateful for. And then it says what would make today great. So it's like you're writing what you're grateful for now and what you would almost like to happen in the day, and then daily affirmation. So it actually ties in the previous point, and you can write in like, I am strong, happy, and confident. And then at the end of the day, it asks you kind of the same thing. 3 amazing things that happened today. How could I have made today even better? So it makes you reflect on the day because, you know, whether it's like you had a fight with someone, you said something you didn't mean, there's always something in a day I feel like you regret. And not that regret is always a negative thing, but it's important to recognize things and reflect on them. So I think this book is a great little tool, and I've almost filled up this entire book. I have a new one I'm going to be using for this year, and it's been an amazing tool to help me practice more gratitude. You can practice gratitude with a regular pen and paper. It doesn't have to be a special book. It can be, you know, going for a walk and just kind of thinking in your head what you're grateful for. I just think it's important to remind yourself of the things you have now and not all the things that you want in life and that are future goals, because there are things right now in your life that probably were goals at one point that you have achieved. So make sure you take some time to be grateful for those things and just celebrate the small things in life, because I think in many times they go forgotten and we're just constantly moving to the next step instead of pausing and to appreciate what we have right now. So there you have it, my 7 tips for becoming a happy person. Like I said, this is not really like a secret formula. It's just things that I've personally done in my own life that I feel like have made the biggest difference in my own mood and personality. And I just want to share them with you guys because I know not everyone finds it easy to be happy every day, and you know, it can be a struggle at times depending on what you're dealing with. So hopefully some of these tips can help bring some happiness and positivity to your life. And if you know someone that maybe could benefit from this video, I would love it if you shared it with them. And leave me a comment down below letting me know what you do in your life to feel happier and more inspired and just more fulfilled in life. So thank you so much for watching, guys. This was fun to do a more chatty video like this with you, and hopefully you liked it. If you guys want to see more like this, let me know and I will definitely do them for you guys. If you guys aren't already subscribed to our In a Nutshell newsletter, you can do so by clicking the link in the info box down below. We send out weekly newsletters to your inbox filled with inspirational things that I love, new content that we recently released, and hopefully to send some positivity to your inbox. So I think they're really fun emails and you guys have been really enjoying them. So if you aren't signed up yet, you can do so by clicking the link down below. And also, as I mentioned, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Click that red subscribe button down below. I post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays every single week on my channel here. So lots of positivity and healthy vibes to send to your inbox. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a very happy day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.